the same page.
Molly cleared her throat, and Mr. Taylor looked up. Molly decided to walk over to the fence. "Hi, Mr. Taylor," she said. He waved and turned away. "Wait!" Molly cried. Taking a risk while she still felt brave, she rushed to gather her thoughts. "Mr. Taylor, Mrs. Fair isn't doing her tomato stand anymore because she's getting old, so I'd like to grow tomatoes. I don't want to get in the way of your flowers, though. I mean, I really like tomatoes." Suddenly, Mr. Taylor smiled. "Molly, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but you've made me smile. Reasons to smile have been scarce lately. What do you want to do?" As Mr. Taylor listened, an idea came to him. "I still need a place to plant my flowers, but there's room for tomatoes. How about I make you a loan? I'll let you use a plot of land in my yard. I'll help you, and when your garden starts to prosper, you can repay me with a few tomatoes." Molly and Mr. Taylor shook hands on this deal. "But first," Mr. Taylor said, "you'll have to make an investment by buying some tomato plants at the nursery." Molly thought, "Well, I have some savings from my allowance, and I was saving to buy a computer game." She paused. "But I'd rather have tomatoes, so let's start right away." The next day, Molly bought all the tomato plants she could afford. Mr. Taylor taught Molly how to prepare the soil and place the plants. Finally, Molly placed stakes in the ground to help hold the plants up. Mr. Taylor explained, "Once the tomatoes come, the heavy fruit makes the branches bend." Then all they could do was water, pull weeds, and wait. When the fruit ripened, there were more juicy red tomatoes than even Molly could have imagined. "There is no way I can eat all these," she realized. On Saturday, Molly and Mr. Taylor carried several crates of ripe tomatoes to the market, and by the day's end, they had sold them all. "Not only did I get back the money I invested," said Molly, "but I also made a profit of $20. Mr. Taylor said, "Those are also your wages. You've earned that money." Molly beamed and said, "Mr. Taylor, maybe you could sell some of your flowers and we could run a market stand together." Mr. Taylor, picturing a garden of zinnias and marigolds, was already looking forward to next summer.
Okay, thank you so much, girls, for following up. So I'd like you please to go back to the first page of the story. Can you please, Rehab, can you please check if you see my laptop screen?
Teacher, yes, I can see your laptop screen, but your sound is not clear and the screen is not clear.
Can you hear me well?
No.
Okay, Rita, can you please stay in? Eugene?
Because your sound is cutting.
Eugene, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you check if the sound is clear, Rihanna? ريانة ريانة